Hello everyone, welcome back to another live session. We are going to get in the routine of doing this every week because I feel like my YouTube is really behind in my life. It's like 6 months behind because I work a full-time job and I edit my vlogs quite in depth and I just can't keep up with how much I film to how much I need to edit because I document a lot of my life. So we have a little Grumpy's coffee here and we're going to have a little coffee and a little chit chat. It's day 21 of me being in 21, today's Sunday, yeah, so it's exactly 3 weeks I've been back in Sydney since moving back from London, and I have gone through a lot of emotions like this week, and I've been documenting it because I want to look back on this time and, oh, it's so windy here, let's put you down. I want to look back on this time hopefully in 6 months and be like, oh my gosh, I got through it and I feel a lot more settled in Sydney, or I don't, or this is what I'm going to do. So that's kind of why I've been documenting it, and honestly I have had the best support online with people just being like, it's so normal to feel this way, like I feel this way a year later, or people are like, the feeling never goes away, I'm missing London. So yeah, it's been really helpful just putting it out online, and I hope that it reaches other people who have to make the decision and they're not sure of the decision. I'm not sure, I think I'm going to move you guys into the little cave area a bit more because she's so windy. I wanted to come get content in this outfit because I got it given to me from a brand, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. Oh my god, that looks gorgeous! That looks so good! I have my shopping bag because I have none of my handbags left because I left them all in London. But I put some questions up on my Instagram of things you guys wanted to know. So I am going to answer them, and I have a little coffee, and that is gorgeous, that spot. So cheers. Let me just... Also, I am putting this on the vlog, so I'm just going to get a little vlog of me doing a little live. Don't mind me. So, let's get into the questions. Okay, it looks stunning. Anyone watching from London, I looked at the time difference and it's like 6 a.m. there right now, so don't know if anyone from London's going to be watching, but look how gorgeous Australia looks. So I took down the questions, and I was actually really happy with the questions I got. I was thinking I wouldn't get any questions. Screenshots, where's screenshots? When they do big iOS updates, I don't know why they do this, because it's don't break what was broken sort of thing. Alright, I got it up, and let's answer these questions. I just knocked my coffee. This is a disaster. I think one of the hardest things about content creation, especially with YouTube, is filming for vertical, which is this, and then filming for YouTube. Also, this coffee was $6.20 Australian, so £3 for a large flat white. And the best thing about being back in Australia is you can order a large flat white. The amount of times I went to Quimmer Cafe in Fitzrovia and I asked for a large flat white and they would be like, oh, we don't do that, it's a latte. I said, it's not a latte. So let's get into the questions. Also, I love my YouTube fam, it's my favorite platform. So yeah, let's get into it. And there's a few people joining! Hi! Okay, this is actually really fun because I feel like I get to interact with you guys literally as I'm here, because I am. Alright, so do you provide advice, tutoring about how to grow your social media channel? From Demi Dynamics. So, interesting you say that. A big decision for me to leave London was I want to come back to Australia and start a social media agency. I grew the fintech that I worked for a year in London. I grew their social media astronomically. I also grew my own personal social media a lot, and I also just gained so much knowledge that I want to convert it now into a business. And exactly, so 2026, the goal is to start my social media agency. I already have my fintech I'm working for in London. I work for that as a contractor right now, so they're a big client, and I have my brother's construction company as a client, and I'm pitching a few others, so it's definitely something I'm going to be doing. I think first off I will be providing more of an agency, I will manage your socials as opposed to giving away the knowledge, because I'm not gonna lie, the knowledge is so valuable and it's like taken me years to learn it. It's like I'm not gonna give that gold away just yet. I'm gonna make a business, an agency, and manage people's socials, because that will make me like a really good income. So that is the plan for 2026. I really want to have an online business so I can travel the world. That's why we did come back to Australia, so I could really put roots down and really build a business, so I'm not relying on someone for my income. It isn't a bad thing to have a 9 to 5, but when I've moved so many places around the world, it's just like draining. I was so lucky when I came back this time from London that my corporate company loved me so much that they were like, can you please, like, do you want to work remote? And I was like, absolutely. So I was really happy with that because it gives me this flexibility, and I've felt this flexibility, and it's so nice to sort of obviously running your own business is stressful, but it's nice to have the flexibility. I work 7 days, but I also work my own schedule. I do not need to be in an office. I can literally come and do content for my socials, and then I go work my London job in the night. So yeah, maybe I'll offer advice in the future, but for now I'm doing an agency next year, which I'm so excited about. It's a new challenge, and a big reason I did move back to Australia was for a new challenge. London was a huge challenge for me, and it gave me the confidence to do this when I come back. And I felt like if I came back to Australia, I was going to be bored if I didn't have goals. So I said to myself, the goal is to have an online business so that I can go back to London next year and travel and see my friends. So yeah, morning. Hola, princess. Someone spoke from Argentina. You know what? I was actually going to go to Argentina. I'm going to Chile, Colombia, and Brazil, literally in like 10 days' time, which is so exciting. And I was going to go to Argentina, but not this time. But I have plans to go back. I'm sure I'm going to love South America. So that was question 1, and I'm loving this coffee. I think I love the coffee because it's so much cheaper than London. From Dan, he, can I take you out for dinner? Well, Dan, he. I am not dating currently. I have just moved back from London and my life was so chaotic there. I'm really just wanting to like get my hair back, get my skin back, get my like gym routine back, get my life routine back. So dating is just sort of on the not at the moment basket, just because I'm actually really happy and I'm just doing me and I'm doing all my content and I'm really happy. And the priority probably would be to make some like girlfriends, and so I have some friends in Sydney. That's like a big thing. So from Nick Goodwhite, is it easy to do life alone? So honestly, yeah, but I don't know. I've been traveling since my 18th birthday. I moved to Australia on my 18th birthday. I'm from New Zealand, and I honestly have been alone on a lot of like for 10 years. So I kind of have got good at it, if that makes sense. Obviously, there are times that are like lonely, and you're like, oh, I wish I could share this with a partner or something, or I wish I had like friends around. But I think it's such a skill to be so at peace in your own company, like just be your own best friend. And I think I grew up in like a really small town in New Zealand on a farm, and for 16 years of my life we lived too far away from my friends that I just couldn't go around to their house and play. Like I would literally have to be organize it with my parents. I remember 2 weeks I'd have to like organize it with my friends, and then my friends would have to ask their parents, and I'd have to ask my parents, and then I would have to call her and I'd be like, can you put your parents on? And I would get my parents to go on and they would discuss the weekend plans. But that would be like for in 2 weeks. It's not like next day, because in New Zealand, like where I lived, everything was just so far away. So I think a lot of my childhood, like I did like a lot of cooking videos. I used to play with the lambs and the sheep, and I used to play a lot of sports. So I'd be on the farm a lot with my brothers, and I would do a lot of stuff on my own. So I'm kind of like used to it. And then obviously I started traveling, and then I couldn't wait around for people. So then I just started doing it on my own. And I think there's a lot of reason why I do my vlogs, because I, one, loved making my videos, and then 2, it was like, you know, I'm on my own and just, hey guys, I'm here in Italy, da da da. So yeah, yeah, I guess it is. I mean, I'm kind of just very happy in my own company, and I think that's a really important skill. And I hope this mic is working, because I charged him, but I started the live, so I don't know. Someone else spoke, but it's in Spanish, and I actually should learn some Spanish because I'm going to South America and I'm going to Colombia, and I know that in parts of Brazil they do not speak, probably like any of South America, a lot of South America, they don't speak English, so I'm gonna be cooked. From rescue.au, when you're coming to Brisbane, Brisbane isn't high on the list. I actually visited Brisbane before I moved to London, and went to Brisbane, saw my investment property, that was great, and saw one of my best friends there, but she's actually moved to the Sunshine Coast, so I think I want to go visit her on the Sunshine Coast. I also can feel the sun on me right now, and if anyone is watching from London, I will tell you, this feels like better than sex. Like the sun, like feeling the warmth. Oh my god. I don't mean to rub it in, but every time someone like says, why are you missing London, it's freaking cold here, I'm like, can you keep telling me that? Because yeah, it's like hard. So Brisbane, not on the cards. I've been there and I don't know, I haven't got any friends to visit, so it's not high up on the list. Have you planned a long run in Australia, half marathon from Shawnee Boy 98? That's what I use. My brother used to be called Shawnee Boy. So my friend's doing the marathon in London, and I always, you know what, do you know how like weird this sense is? So when the marathon happened last summer, I was like, I want to do that. That looks amazing. Like running down Buckingham Palace, and you got all the UK flags, and I'm like, oh my god, we got 43 people on. Hi everyone. I was like, oh, I want to do that, like that's so London. And if you guys have followed my journey, I'm like obsessed with London in the last year, and so I was like, I want to do that. And then I went to like sign up, and you had to pay like $1,000, and it's so weird. Subconsciously in my head I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to get sponsorship. This was before I'd really got it confirmed with a company, and you had to like get your application in by like May or June or whenever it was, and I to do it, but subconsciously I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be in London, so I didn't apply. So I do really want to do a marathon. I kind of want to do the London or New York one, but I don't know, I can't imagine prepping to do that, go on a flight for like 30 hours to then run a marathon. I just want to go to London for a holiday, and then I'm just like, I could do one in Australia, actually probably be really pretty along the beach and stuff. So it is on the cards. I feel like it's something I really want to do. Not sure when, but I feel like it's like a good accomplishment. And it's like really special. I see when people finish the marathons, they like, I did this for my dad, or I did this for someone. And it's just like really like wholesome and nice. So yeah, marathon, potentially. I actually used to be like a really good runner in school. 100, 200, 400. And then I used to be really good at cross country. So yeah, then running is in my genes. How can we help grow your business and support you? From Imtia Kazim _DXB. Well, you guys can support me by watching my vlogs and commenting and engaging. That helps my social media. But yeah, also like, I don't know, if you guys have any people you know want to grow their social media or need a social media manager, you can refer me. I think I'm going to start a new Instagram called Lynn's Blog Agency and really launch it in 2026. And that's where I'm just going to post sort of the metrics I get from my clients and just start it. I was talking to my friend and I was like, you know what, you always are going to be like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And until you actually do it and you make a mistake, you're not really going to learn from it. So though I'm a bit nervous to like launch like a business and be like, oh, this is what I'm going to do and offer, I feel like until I do that and until I get a couple like really good clients and like have like, you know, I've been like managing their socials and I make a few mistakes and I'll be like, okay, that system works better or this works that, but you're not ever going to learn anything if you don't try. I know that sounds really like people always say that, but it's true. Like I've been sitting in my room or in my apartment in Sydney the last 4 weeks thinking like, obviously I'm putting it off because it's end of the year here and it's stressful and I just moved back to London, but I'm like, next year, like what do I have to lose? Like just go pitch clients, like, do you know what I mean? And be like, okay, I'll do it for half a fee for a month, and if you like it, if you don't, see you later. But then at least I'm getting like good experience. Okay, next. Hi, what are your plans for 2026? From Rich_MGAN, Rich Megan. My plans for 2026, the biggest one is to start my social media agency. So that is high on the list. I think there's, I don't know. I don't know how my social media is going to go back and down under, but I would have liked to say I would like to be full-time influencer by end of the year of 2026. But I don't know if my social media agency is going to take more priority, stuff like that. So start a social media agency. I would like to come back to Europe for Europe summer. I don't know if that's possible, but it definitely, like, I keep emailing brands that emailing me saying, oh, like, come to this event in London, and I'm like, oh, I've just relocated back to Sydney, but, you know, keep in touch, like, I'll be back in London next year. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just trying to be, like, super optimistic. Maybe I'm being over optimistic. I do want to travel a lot of Asia, so maybe a trip to Thailand or Philippines. And spend more time with my family. That's a big one in 2026. Start playing tennis again. Get my hair back. Okay, this is just like, yeah. So 2026 is like start my social media agency, and I think that's going to be, and try to be an influencer by the end of 2026. So yeah. That's it. Like, that's all I can think of for now. I'm just trying to finish 2025. 2025 was probably the best year ever. I achieved more than I thought I would, and I traveled a lot more than I thought I would. And I also think I proved to myself, like, what I'm capable of, and, like, what you truly put your mind to, you can achieve. And I know that sounds so cliche, but when I tell you, I locked in when I was in London. Like, I locked in so hard. I was saying no to going out. It was every single night after my corporate job in my office, editing till 1 a.m. just pushing. I post on every day on Instagram since April 2024. No negotiables. I was just putting it out there, and it was just like not even second guessing it. Like, am I posting too much? Am I not? It's just like, no. And I actually read something today, and it was like a girl's like, I can't control the views or the engagement or the algorithm, but she's like, I can control the output. So if you're putting 3 TikTok videos out or 3 YouTube vlogs out a week for a whole year versus just once a month, you think how many more surface area you have, because you have so much more content out there, how much more opportunity one has to ping to go viral. And the thing is, like, when you go viral, a video goes viral, if you just have one video and nothing else, but if people see you're a consistent poster, that's when they're going to follow. So whoever asked the question of social media advice, I just gave you a little bit there. So if you were watching, you're welcome. Do you know CPR because you took my breath away, from Dan he. That is actually kind of funny. Okay, from Rich_Megan. Do you live alone or with family? So I actually live with a flatmate. I have an apartment I rent in Sydney. I used to live in it before I moved to London, and I think that is what was the biggest turning point. So in August, I was set on staying in London for 2 more years. I got confirmed sponsorship from my company. I was celebrating. I was like, yay, like, my social media is taking off. Like, London is finally working out. And then my brother messaged me and said, hey, we've bought a house in Sydney. We're going to be moving out of that apartment. Do you want to take it over? And honestly, it was literally like I'd been hit by a car. I just got what I'd worked so hard for. And even my brother mentioned it. He was like, I know what sponsorship means to you in UK, but he's like, if you're going to come back in 2 years, like, you might as, you know, take this opportunity because it could really set you up. So for that whole month, I was really debating it. I was going back and forth. I was so lost. I was so confused. I was like making mistakes at work because my head was scrambled. 1 minute I'm staying in London, and the next I was potentially leaving, and I did leave. So yeah, I have my apartment there. So it's really nice to be like living just with one other. She's away for 4 days now in Byron Bay, so I literally have the apartment to myself. So like, I'm gonna go home and do an unboxing, and I can just film, and it's no one's interrupting me with my vlogs or anything. It's like that extra privacy that I didn't have in London. I also pay less for apartment by the beach versus what I paid for a literal crack den in London. But it was London, and I loved London, so yeah. So I don't have a family home to really go home to, so it was like a big decision as well. It was like, if I hang on to London right now and I want to leave in a couple of years, like, am I going to set myself back because I'm going to be coming into crazy rent in Sydney? Do you know what I mean? Because it's not like I can just go live at home. So yeah, it was a big hard decision, but I made my decision, and I'm thinking in a year's time I'm going to look back and be like, okay, you know, it was hard, but it was the right decision. I didn't make the decision lightly, and I had a lot of my family and a lot of my friends around me, and it was more like my decision was like made on a long-term plan rather than short-term gain. So the long-term plan is to be, you know, by my family, closer to my family in Australia, and the short-term gain if I stayed in London was, okay, my social media would grow, I'd go to so many cool events, like I get to travel Europe, but then I could be like old in London and be single, living in a flat share with 3 other girls. So it was just like a lot that I had to process and kind of just what do I say, kind of just like weigh up my options and like what are my priorities. So yeah, I think there's one more. So from Nima S_SRR, thanks for the love, Lens. To be live is always the best. Thank you so much. From Luigi. I know you comment on all my YouTube vlogs, so I love it. Thank you. Any plans of settling down? What's your timeline of getting married and having kids? Love, X. So I actually got this question and it was super interesting. A big reason I did leave London was sort of my timing was I'm not going to find a partner in 6 months. So if I'd stayed in London another 2 years and I was 29 and then I decided to move back to Sydney, I would be starting from scratch. I would be looking for a partner because I really didn't think I was going to find one in London because I didn't want to settle in England. So I was kind of holding back, and so I decided to move back to Australia because this is where I want to have my life. So kind of moved back here, not that I'm like looking, because I don't believe you should look, but it's like I'm more putting myself in a position where I'm more able to find someone that I want to spend my life with. Because I felt like in London, my friends told me I kind of held back from dating because I didn't really want to meet someone there because my previous relationship, he was Irish, and I lived in his Irish town in Ireland, and I was like, I don't want to live here in Ireland, and he was like, well, I do, and I was like, well, this is not going to work. So I was like, I kind of went through that, and I was like, I know I don't want to live in these gloomy countries because it's just like it's just like depression on a plate. It's okay for a couple of years, but I feel like if you're a foreigner in like those countries and you don't have any of your friends or your family around, when the times are hard in those cities, like those places, they're so hard. Versus, you know, if you're having a bad day in Australia and it looks like this, and you don't have any friends or family around, you just come to the beach and go for a swim, and you know the sun is shining, you know. So yeah, actually kids, partner, settling down. So that was like a big reason for me to come back to Australia, was to settle down. I'm obviously not going to be traveling Europe, taking Europe weekend trips. I'm not going to be traveling as much. I've got my own apartment now. I've got like a home base. I'm not living out of a suitcase, and I'm not on a visa, so I'm not just going to get like deported all of a sudden and just be like moving back. So yeah, I made the decision to come back to Sydney to settle. Still going to travel, but yeah, just be in a more settled state so I am able to meet someone. Definitely do want kids, even though I hear them screaming at the cafe, and I'm like, But my brother's having a baby in February, so maybe that's like my test waters of being an auntie. I'm like, maybe I'll just be the cool auntie who travels. No, but to be fair, I feel like once all my friends around me start having kids, I will want a kid. I don't know. So yeah, never say never. And yeah, that was my live. I hope you guys enjoyed. Just living in Australia. I hope you guys are loving the content. And yeah, I'm going to try to keep doing these every sort of 2 weeks or week, just putting question boxes up. And these are just going to be more up-to-date sort of live updates. As you know, my vlogs are so behind. I'm editing a vlog right now at home, and it's from London in May. So yeah, we're off to South America in 3 weeks, and I'm probably going to do a lot of lives there because why not? I'm going to South America. I'm going on my own. I'm so nervous, but I'm also like, when else? Like, we can't stop waiting for people. And I'm so grateful for everything I achieved in London because I would have not had the confidence if I'd stayed in Sydney when I was 23 to travel to South America on my own. But living in London and traveling to all those countries in Europe on my own, you know, I counted some things, I, you know, went through some stuff, and it made me so smart and so like switched on, and I'm just so excited to travel South America. Brazil has been on my bucket list since like I was 18. I'm also doing Brazil for New Year's. I need to go home and like find a white outfit because they're all white on Copacabana Beach. I'm so excited. I have a Brazil bikini. I have a Brazil top. Like I in another life, Lynn's vlog was meant to be Brazil. But I hope you guys enjoyed the live. I see a few comments. How are you, Lynn's? Hi. I'm good. My hair is looking good. Even though I had to cut it all off from London, and my skin is clearing, and it's beautiful blue skies in Australia, so life isn't so bad. We're missing London, but I'll be back. But I hope you guys enjoyed the live, and I will see you in my next one, and yeah, love you all. Mwah.